Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a legal document that honestly reads more like a political thriller than city business. This is the wild story of how a simple contract for some tennis courts has exploded into a massive lawsuit. A lawsuit that has the entire city council in some very, very deep legal hot water for a decision they made for everyone to see.
Okay, let's just start with what might be the single most jaw-dropping piece of evidence. I mean, this isn't from some secret memo. This is a direct quote from the city's own senior assistant city attorney, speaking on the public record during the city council meeting. It's about as clear a warning as you can get, saying, hey, what you're about to do is against the law.
And if you thought that was something, listen to this. This is the mayor of Glendale, and you have to know, he's also an attorney, saying the exact same thing. He's literally, in real time, calling out the council for, in his words, creating new categories on the fly. He's basically saying, this isn't fair. To have both the city attorney and the mayor saying this on the record, it is just unbelievable.
So this is the central question we're looking at today. How on earth does a city council get to a place where they are openly ignoring direct legal warnings from their own top lawyers on camera? It's pretty incredible. So let's rewind the tape and see exactly how this whole thing went off the rails.
To really get what's going on here, we first have to understand the rules of the game. Because when it comes to government contracts, the rules, well, they aren't just suggestions. They are the whole foundation of the process.
So let's start with a little government speak. The Request for Proposals, or RFP. What is that? Well, in plain English, think of it like a public competition with a really clear rulebook. The city says, here's exactly what we need, and here's exactly how we're going to score you. The entire point is to make sure everything is fair and transparent, and to prevent any kind of backroom deals or political favoritism.
And here is Glendale's official rulebook for this tennis contract. Just look at how specific this is. Experience, how much they'll pay the city, financial stability. These are concrete, objective things. These weren't just loose ideas. These were supposed to be the only things that mattered in picking a winner. Okay, so the city had its rules, all the companies submitted their proposals, and the professional staff did the scoring. This should have been the simple part, right? But this is where the story takes a pretty shocking turn. Let's take a look at the results. And there it is, clear as day. The city's own professional staff, the non-political experts, they took that rule book, they scored the bids, and the result was decisive. Hard 8 Inc. got the highest score, and the staff officially recommended award the contract to them. Should have been case closed, right?
And the official staff report backs this up completely. The winner, Hard 8 Inc., was praised for having a detailed plan and a strong marketing strategy. The exact things that were listed in the city's own rulebook.
And then, on the flip side, that same report points out that the lower scoring proposal was weak in those exact same areas. It says they offered no new programs or a marketing plan. I mean, based on the rules, the choice seems pretty obvious. But then, this happened. Even with that clear, data-driven recommendation from their own experts, a council member makes a motion to just throw it out. And the reason? Concerns about community connection. Now, you can go back and look at that rulebook. Community connection is nowhere to be found.
And this slide really gets to the heart of the whole legal mess. On the left, you've got the official rules, the ones that were set in stone from the very beginning. And on the right, you've got the new rules, things like community connection and history that were just invented on the fly, right there in the middle of the meeting. This is the moment the whole process went off the rails.
So what happens when a government body basically changes the rules of the game after it's already over? Well, as you can imagine, the law has a pretty clear answer for that.
So no big surprise here. The company that actually played by the rules and won, Hard 8 Inc., has filed a lawsuit against the city of Glendale. They're challenging the council's decision to just ignore the official score and give the contract to their lower-scoring competitor instead.
Now, the specific legal tool they're using is called a writ of mandate. In legal terms, that's a court order that forces a government agency to do a legal duty it has failed to do. So in plain English, it's like asking a judge to step in and be the referee, to force the city to actually follow its own rulebook.
To put it as simply as possible, the lawsuit is asking a judge to look at the Glendale City Council and say, look, you published a rulebook for everyone to see, you have to follow it. You can't just make things up as you go along.
The lawsuit also uses this very powerful legal phrase, arbitrary and capricious. Now legally, that means the decision was made with no sound basis in facts or the law.
But what it really means, in everyday language, is that the decision was based on a whim, not on reason. It's one of the most serious things you can accuse a government of, because it's an accusation of a fundamental abuse of power. So let's be super clear. The lawsuit isn't just saying the council made a simple mistake. It's claiming they knowingly ignored the clear evidence from their own staff and the rules that they themselves wrote. The accusation is that their choice wasn't just wrong, it was fundamentally unreasonable and unfair.
And that brings us to where we are today. The lawsuit is officially filed, and the city of Glendale is now staring down a major legal battle. A battle that, it seems, is entirely of its own making.
So what does the lawsuit actually want the court to do? Well, it's asking for one of two things. Option 1, vacate the city's bad decision and award the contract to the rightful winner, Hard Aid, Inc. Or, if not that, option 2, force the city to throw the whole thing out and start over from scratch, and this time actually play by the rules.
And this brings us right back to what is, you could argue, the city's biggest problem of all. In this legal fight, the star witness against the city of Glendale might just be the mayor of Glendale. It's not just the company saying the rules were broken. Their own mayor said it on the public record in the very meeting where it all went down. You can't make this stuff up.
So we are left with a massive legal cliffhanger. The lawsuit lays out what really seems like an open and shut case. You've got the facts, you've got the city's own rules, and you have multiple on-the-record warnings from the city's own attorneys. On paper, it sure seems like the city of Glendale has no leg to stand on. But a legal battle has officially begun, and now we all have to wait and see how the city could possibly defend a decision that its own lawyers warned them was against the law.